Hello there, my name is Leandro Guerra and welcome to the Outspoken Market. When people ask me what AI means for jobs and the economy, I like to frame it with three effects you need to hold in mind at the same time: displacement, productivity, and reinstatement. If you only focus on one, you will either panic or get naive. But if you hold all three together, you can actually plan. Follow me. First, displacement. Since the first factories, technology has always replaced the tasks, and sometimes entire roles. The spinning jenny, the tractor, spreadsheets, ERP systems. AI is doing the same with knowledge work today. You already see it in coding assistants, in customer support, in document drafting, basic analysis in general. Give a model a clear prompt and it does in minutes what used to take hours. That's displacement at the task level. Multiply that across a company and suddenly headcount, workflows, and cost structures shift, right? The second point, it's about productivity. Every technological wave promises do more with the same people or the same with fewer people. AI is no different. Trillion-dollar firms are betting massively on these data centers, cheap software, because AI is clearly useful. The real question is how much of that usefulness shows up in actual productivity numbers beyond the tech sector. So far, early studies show gains, but smaller and more uneven than the hype. It makes sense. AI slots easily into structured digital tasks like code generation or summarization, but leadership, negotiation, clinical judgment, or safety critical decisions, what about them? Those live in messy systems full of human context, regulation, and consequences. Adoption of AI there will be slower for sure. The third point is about the reinstatement. This is the piece people often forget. New technologies don't just destroy tasks, they create new ones, sometimes entire categories we couldn't imagine before. Farmhands didn't vanish, they became mechanics, designers, accountants, software engineers. Every wave shifts the labor market toward non-routine work that blends technical, social, and domain skills. With AI will be the same, but note, today's models are getting better at first drafts, even creative ones. That means non-routine jobs will also be reshaped. And if everyone leans on the same model defaults, outputs coverage toward the average. The real edge then comes from how you combine tools with domain insight, taste, and constraints, not from just pressing the same button as everyone else does. Now, let's anchor this with something really practical. For example, if you manage a team, open a spreadsheet and do a kind of a task inventory. Column A, you top your recurring monthly tasks. Column B, mark them rule-based or judgment-heavy. Column C, list the inputs and outputs. Column D, note acceptable error rates. Now, map each task across the three effects, where AI can be safely displaced, 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. Where can it lift productivity by giving you a better draft for review, for example? And where does it enable reinstatement, meaning new tasks you couldn't attempt before, like scenario simulations, synthetic test data, or launching new microservices because scaffolding is cheap. This simple exercise will shape your AI strategy more than hours of generic talks with it. Now, if you are an individual contributor, try what I call the copilot sandwich. Follow me. AI at the beginning to draft something. You in the middle to decide. AI at the end to package it and polish it. For example, in research, the model suggests an outline, you refine it, the model generates tables and figures, you verify, the model produces a clean executive summary in the right format. Measure the time saved and the error rates. If quality drops, adjust the prompts, add checklists, or pull the task back to the human. The goal isn't blind automation, it's higher through output without losing any quality. So, who actually wins in all of it? Think about ecosystems. A single invention rarely explains a century of prosperity. Cars mattered because we built roads, fuel networks, logistics, and finance. Electricity mattered because we rewired factories and cities, and we created whole new industries. With AI is no different. Winners will be those who combine compute and energy at scale, a strong talent pipeline, data governance that keeps quality high, and institutions that distribute gains widely enough to keep adoption going. The code alone doesn't deliver that. Systems do. Get it? Systems do. Here is the managerial lesson about all of it. Don't start with model shopping. Start with flow design. Map where information comes from, who decides what gets logged, what triggers the next step. Then pick the smallest model that does the job within your costs, latency, and risk budget. Wrap it in tests, set the escalation rules, and decide when humans must step in. Do this, and you will capture productivity without destroying trust. Skip it, and you will end up with demos that wow, but the system that quality fail. So it's worthless. And here's the personal lesson. Use AI to move faster, but always learn what it did. If a model generates code, take 5 minutes to explain the core idea back to yourself. If it produces an analysis, recompute a couple of the numbers manually. If it proposes a plan, stress test the plan and its assumptions. Treat the model as a calculator with opinions. This isn't academic purity, it's risk management. When the tool is wrong or unavailable, your understanding is the last line of defense. You are yet in control. And one more thing, the distribution side. Large firms are adopting AI faster than small ones. That widens productivity gaps and pushes markets toward concentration. Some companies cut aggressively in the name of AI only to regret it later when they realize the knowledge embedded in teams was never captured by prompts or SOPs. The lesson then is automate the tasks but not the relationships. Preserve institutional memory. When you remove a role, deliberately transfer its tacit know-how into a document, a playbook, or a training model if exists. Otherwise, you trade the short-term savings for long-term fragility. And what about creative work? AI can help you explore more ideas faster, way faster, but models lean toward average. If you want originality, constrain them. Give your style guides, your examples, your negative prompts. Inject your data, your metrics, your constraints. Build evaluators that score outputs on novelty, risk, or compliance. Don't just ask for content. Ask for content that clears your bar and codify that bar. Now, let's tie this back to your career moves. If your current value is tied to routine transformation of inputs into outputs, move up the stack. Learn the upstream framing and the downstream consequences. Become the person who designs prompt schemas, evaluation rubrics, data contracts, and exception handling. Develop domain depth. The scarce skill is not using AI. It's owning outcomes with AI in the loop. It's yet using your brain with AI. And finally, a word on mindset. The future isn't pre-written in a model card. We get to choose. We can build ecosystems that turn productivity into prosperity. If we invest in what's hard to automate, trust, taste, and judgment. If we build institutions that share gains broadly enough that people want to participate, this is how. If we teach teams to think probabilistic and measure the effects, not its intentions, the three effects will always be there. Displacement will hurt if unmanaged. Productivity will help if captured. Reinstatement will matter only if we create the conditions for new good work. So, if you take one thing from this talk, let it be this. Treat AI as a lever, not as a prophecy. Map your tasks, redesign your flows, build guardrails, and always learn what the tool is doing. The winners in this wave will be the ones who turn models into systems, systems into ecosystems, and ecosystems into durable advantages for real people. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and any questions, I'm here for you. See you next time. Bye bye.